Hey everybody, welcome to another Connected Live here on Instagram, and thank you so much for those who are going to be able to watch today, and for those who listen in later. You'll be able to see it here, but I'll also post it on my YouTube channel. So one of the major questions that came in today was, what is the Great Awakening? People are looking it up and they're finding the Great Awakening from the early 1900s. And the Great Awakening is so expansive in what it means. And it's different for kind of each person depending on where their energetic system is at, if you will. So I'm going to attempt to describe it so that it's more understandable. And also keep in mind, if I suddenly have to hop off, I have two large 100-pound German Shepherds, and one's 10, one's 3, and one is 13 weeks. The 13-week one I have to pay a little more attention to, so if I suddenly jump off, I will jump back on again as soon as I take care of him. So the Great Awakening is basically something that was thought actually amongst holistic healers was going to happen in the early 1990s. So somebody that was young back then told me that they had felt that the way that they would be doing veterinary medicine would completely change to align with the holistic. And to their dismay, everybody went back to sleep again right as they thought everybody was going to wake up. So there are moments, or there have been windows in history where the Great Awakening could happen, and then human beings just fell back asleep again. And what I mean by that is the awakening is a reality check, if you will, to we are more than we have been. So inner independence, the other senses besides the 5 that are agreed upon will become more awake and aware. So if you're not familiar with the other senses that go beyond the 5, you're going to want to look to work with someone like me in order to gain an understanding for it, because it's part of that inner independence, meaning you're within you is God, light, love, Buddha, whatever it is that you believe in, great spirit, universe, creator, is already within you. You don't have to go to an external source to find it. That doesn't mean that going to church is bad. It just means that your own connection with source on the inside is so strong that you receive information and messages and guidance. We say prayers, and there's still so many out there that will say, I feel like my prayers go unanswered by God. It's not that they're unanswered. It may just be that you are not completely able to listen to how it's being responded to. And sometimes a lack of answer is actually an answer all within itself. And so learning how to understand all this communication that comes from God, universe, creator, is inherently important as part of the Great Awakening. So there is work to be done. It's not something that just goes poof and happens. Now I'll post a link or another image. Ooh, I don't even think I can post the image in YouTube. I'll post it again on my Instagram account, where it shows you the behaviors of 3rd dimension, 4th dimension, and 5th dimension. The Great Awakening is about staying in the 5th dimension. You don't want to stay in the 3rd, and you really don't want to stay in the 4th either. In the 5th is the highest vibration of energy, meaning you are operating at your best. Your energy, your emotional, your physical health will all come into alignment, and you will have that inner independence with all your other senses activated, if you will. And you will be able to see very clearly how everything is connected, that we all are actually one. We are not separate, as the powers at be have led us to believe. We will also have clarity around how we are all the same. We have more in common than we don't. So black, white, yellow, red, all those things become irrelevant. We see each other beyond the color, beyond where we live, beyond our economic strata, and say, We see all that we have in common. So therefore, and I want to be really specific about this, it's not socialism or communism, it's that we all can succeed and move forward because we learn in that inner independence to find our mission and purpose and are satisfied beyond the external. We've been programmed to think that money is everything, and that's where we've lost our moral compass. It's where we've lost our ethics. It's where we've lost our humanity. We've lost our compassion, because the people on the side of the Great Reset, the cabal, the Satanists, whatever you want to call them, they do not, what they value, let me go to what they value. And it was in that video that I posted that this man did a big essay, and the research is really good. They value deception. They value pain, suffering, and enslaving the planet. Their whole modus operandi is to control the planet, and they do so with deception. So you'll meet somebody and they're so charming and so amazing, and oh, they're doing all these like help. They're doing all this third world work or fourth world work. They're helping in Haiti. They have these foundations. And what they're really doing is using your humanity against you to get you to give you money. And they say they're doing it for humanitarian purposes for either people or animals. And what they're actually doing is using it for themselves and their own negative purposes. So all these deceptions will become clear because your inner independence, your own other skills, your own intuition will tell you that is not what is actually real. They're showing me a front, and they're actually not good people. So we have to learn. The Great Awakening is about clarity and about connection and about elevating to the next level of lessons that come from being in the fifth dimension. The fifth dimension is where negativity can't reside. Evil loses its power. Satan loses its power, because that is the highest frequency you can be at. So basically, that is what the Great Awakening is about. It's meant to bring us to the next level of evolution, for us to understand connection, that energy and emotional and physical are all one, how we have more in common than we don't. And with that, the puppy has gone to the door, so I apologize. So this will be part one. I may jump back on to do a part two, but I hope that clarifies things. It's a really big thing, and you need to work with somebody in order to understand how the Great Awakening functions in your life, in your world. It's a very specific thing. I can give you a general definition like I just did, but you actually do need to work with somebody. It's like getting an education, a master's degree. So that is it. I better deal with this puppy before there's a mistake made, and I will talk to you guys soon, and I'll jump back on if I can. And if you guys want to ask some questions in the comments from this video, that'd be awesome, and I'll address them in the next video I do in about 10 minutes. All right, thanks again, guys, and I'll be back.